watch
How?
this?
How?
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 How? Ew,
How do you watch this? Dude, I'm gonna pee my pants.
Hi, you're listening to How Do You Watch This, a movie review podcast where each week we recommend a movie in a genre we love, but they don't. I don't know why this is a tongue twister for me now. I really can't. Recommend? Jesus Christ. My name is Demi and I love horror.
My name is Megan and I love romance.
And this week I had Megan watch It.
Yeah.
And it's funny, when I was putting up the script, it said It Follows last
Yep.
week. So then I just erased some words for It. Perfect.
Amazing. That's why it was so funny, like doing all this, where I was like, there's actually a lot of connections
So
between It
much.
Follows and It. And I was like, interesting.
So this is the movie remake, not the horrible miniseries. And well, this could also be horrible. We'll talk about it.
Great. Yeah.
And yeah, so another Stephen King, of course.
Another Stephen King.
Probably the last one, you know? Probably the last
so,
one.
dude.
I gave you all the big ones.
I have a lot of questions about this man. And after watching this, like, I'll bring some of them up, but number one, who hurt you? Like, what trauma did this man experience as a child?
There's a lot of questions with this book. I don't know.
No.
He went a little too far with this.
Yeah.
In the movie, fine-ish.
No.
The book, crazy. The book, girl,
Dude.
there's some crazy. I didn't read it. I will not read this book.
Good.
There's some crazy shit, and we'll talk about it. But I'm like, well, Stephen,
Yeah.
hun, sir,
Yeah.
Mr. King.
There are major issues. Major issues abound. So it's set. Sorry, it's not set. It was filmed, released, whatever, in 2017. It's rated R. It's a long one at 2 hours and 15 minutes. Yeah. Supernatural horror, which seems to be the vast majority of what you've been giving me. The last 3 have been supernatural horror. Then it was psychological horror, and then supernatural horror.
I'll switch things up. I swear.
Yeah,
I'll switch things up.
We'll see. Director Andy Muschietti. Okay. So, I wrote at the top, TLDW, too long didn't watch. A bunch of kids are haunted by an evil clown who weaponizes their worst fears to feed off of them. Congrats, you don't have to watch the movie now. That's the whole thing.
That is.
All right.
Yeah, you're right.
The year is 1988, and we begin with the story of Georgie. Georgie is a little boy, maybe 5 or 6, and he's enamored with his older brother, Bill. Bill is not feeling well. He's in bed and he can't play with Georgie. So he makes Georgie a paper boat that he can float down the sidewalk. So Georgie goes outside in his little yellow raincoat. Hello, poster from the movie.
Iconic.
Yep. Georgie follows the paper boat all the way to an open sewer, of which I wonder, were sewers like this in the 80s? Just gigantic gaping holes into the ground that a human being could fit under?
You never seen them like that?
That big that a human could go through?
I wouldn't say like a human, but I remember living in the suburbs. They were pretty big.
See, I didn't live in the suburbs. I lived very rurally.
Suburbs, yes, they do have those.
Yeah, we didn't have like sewers where we were. It was just road and then dirt.
Yeah, you're right. So yeah, in the suburbs, there are things, those exist. So
right. And they're big like that.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, actually, I don't know. I like living in the suburbs now. I don't know. I just don't.
Look around, walk around, Megan.
Like a child could fit through it.
Like a small child. Like, they're not massive, but they're big. You know.
I'm not paying attention. And you know what? Travis blames me for this all the time. He's like, "Are you even looking around you?" And I'm like, "No, I'm very much focused on what's happening right in front of my feet." So not good.
We'll go next time I go over. We'll take a walk and try and find
point
some.
out all the man-sized holes. So this actually from the original movie. This is the scene that I saw. So I was a child. I'm pretty sure it was a Saturday or morning. I'm turning the TV on. No one's really up, and I flip to this thing and it's like a clown. Like, okay, like that's fine. And I'm watching it and then I see what happens next. And let me tell you what, never turned a TV show off, a movie off faster. So I saw the original one back when I was way too young.
Yes.
And probably one of the reasons why I hate horror movies.
It's a creepy one to stumble
Yep.
upon for sure. I think this the
Yes.
original scared a lot of
Yeah.
children. So
Yeah, no kidding. So anyway, Georgie, he floats his boat and it goes to an open sewer, and we meet Pennywise. This is when we see through the sewer that there is a clown there, and he takes this opportunity to ruin my movie watching experience by biting off Georgie's arm. He couldn't just grab him in one go. No, he had to bite off his arm. We had to watch this little boy crawl his way away in the pouring rain, and he can't escape, and he gets taken in by Pennywise, pulled into the murky depths of the public sewer system. I hated it. That's my deleted scene. It was not great. I definitely have some runner-up deleted scenes, but that one takes the cake.
yeah, Georgie's scene was rough. I don't like that. He yeah, in the original it's similar. He gets bit. It's not graphic, obviously.
Okay.
In the
I mean,
book,
I felt pretty.
yeah, I mean,
traumatized
either
by
way,
it.
it's traumatizing. In the book, Georgie's arm does get ripped off, but he dies. Like, his body doesn't get taken. So the old woman that was kind of seeing what was going on was able to bring the body. So
Okay.
Georgie wasn't missing. So that's a big difference in the remake, where it's like this whole thing where Georgie's missing and he might still be alive, maybe. But in the book and the miniseries, he's definitely dead. Poor baby. So imagine that, a little boy's body with a missing arm just on the street. Like, that's crazy.
Oh, I hate it. Okay, so the movie, to move past George, poor little Georgie, who for the icon that he is with this movie doesn't have a very big role. So the movie's told in the collection of vignettes that eventually merge into one story. So we see like a bunch of kids, preteens, who are living their lives, and their stories all kind of intermingle. So there's a young farm boy named Mike who's too scared to kill a sheep, even though he has to for work. There's the punky preteen Beverly, who gets wet garbage poured on her in the bathroom because of her alleged promiscuity. Again, with Stephen King having a girl gay absolutely brutalized it in gross ways in a bathroom.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I think
for that.
I don't know too much about Beverly in the book, but I know that when the actress auditioned, she felt like she wasn't girly enough for the role. So Beverly's a much girlier role than like what she's depicted as in the remake.
Interesting. Yeah, she's given a very like tomboy-esque.
Yeah, which I like. I think I like that she's a little different, and that's partially why she's bullied. She's not like other girls, I guess.
Yeah, love it. We see Bill again. He's showing his dad a toy model of the sewer system to demonstrate how Georgie could still be alive. And his dad screams at him that Georgie is dead. There's this new kid with a baby face. His name is Ben.
Yeah.
I was like, is he the same age as them? And I even looked, and he's pretty much the same age. Like, they're all within a year of each other.
Yeah.
This kid looks so young.
So baby.
So baby. And he doesn't have any friends. And then there's a rabbi's son, Stan. He's practicing for his bat mitzvah, and he's disappointing his father. So let's talk about Stan. Stan is terrified of a Modigliani painting, within good reason, because these paintings are often pretty haunting. They're like gaunt and ghostly people. It's
So
never,
creepy.
Yeah. It's not great. The fact that it's sitting in a rabbi's,
Mhm.
office is a lot. So it falls off the wall, and when Stan hangs it back on the wall, he realizes the canvas is now blank, and then the woman from the painting comes out in real life, and it opens with like these horrible pointy teeth, which is the Pennywise teeth. So you know she's kind of like Pennywise in disguise in that way. And this is what happens repeatedly, is that Pennywise will show up to attack the children, and he gets interrupted by something that stops him. Usually I would think like almost always an adult. Because adults can't see him.
Yeah.
Okay, so next we look at Ben's first scare. So Ben is the new kid, the sweet baby-faced boy. He's at the library researching the history of the town, which is called Derry. And while he's there, he learns about the Easter explosions in 1908. He sees a red balloon float by, which happens pretty much repeatedly around these hauntings. There's always a red balloon floating by. And he eventually gets chased by a headless body. He, in this process, is captured by the evil town bullies, who I would argue are just as bad, if not worse, than the clown monster.
They are awful.
They're absolutely horrible. They're horrible, horrible times 1,000,000. They participate in my runner-up deleted scene, which is when Henry, lead henchman of the bullies, starts to carve his name into Ben's little tum-tum.
Yeah.
And he gets the letter H down, and then Ben manages to escape. Thank goodness.
Yes.
Hated that. So, meanwhile, Billy and his friends are looking for clues about Georgie's disappearance, and Ben runs into them, and they help him get to safety by going to the world's creepiest pharmacist.
Yeah.
So at this point, Bev joins the gang, and there's so many B names. This was really unkind. Billy, Ben, and Bev, are you joking? So Beverly joins the gang to help them steal some bandages. She's the distraction, flirting with the gross old man. Travis turned to me at this point. Who's creepier, that man or the clown? Yeah. Rough. And this leads me to a theory about the adults in this movie. They are clearly all rotten to the core, and there must be some deeper meaning to their roles. There has to be something. I don't know exactly what it is, but it has to connect in some way. Not a single adult is like a good adult. Even Billy's dad yells at him for looking through and trying to come up with ideas.
Yeah. I mean, it is the 80s.
Dude, it just gets worse and worse with all these parents. First of all, the pharmacist guy, one of his daughters is going to school with them. He's still perving on this young girl, prepubescent girl, who's just getting her first period, basically.
Yeah.
And then we have Stan's dad, who's the rabbi, who's berating him because he can't read the Torah memorized perfectly. And then we have Bev's dad and Eddie's mom, who are different beasts altogether. We're going to talk about them.
Yeah. I think the only one, so Richie is, I think, the only one with parents that are like normal-ish. And we really don't see anything with
Richie
that, but I think he
not-
has the most stable household.
Yeah, and he's not really in the movie. Like, he's not one of these leading characters we keep coming back to. He doesn't get haunted.
He doesn't, no. But he's definitely the funniest character.
He's really funny. We'll talk about a couple of things with him. I actually have my favorite is actually Eddie, and I think
I love Eddie.
Yeah,
I know.
I love
Yeah.
Eddie, so.
I thought you would
my
relate
boy-
to Eddie a little
yes.
bit.
Yeah, my boy. So all the kids meet up to go swimming, a scene filled with an unfortunate amount of adolescent cringe. I was like, oh my
I know.
God, I don't want to watch this. They're just so uncomfortable in their bodies.
Yeah, little whitey tighties, and then
Oh.
Beverly's hanging out with them. They're just like,
They're
oh,
just
a girl.
all over themselves. So we learn that Ben has been researching the town and noticed a pattern of missing people every 27 years. There's an influx of the number of kids who go missing or die. And we also see that Pennywise shows up in some of these old drawings that he has hung on his walls. So that's great. Who doesn't love that? On his way home, hypochondriac king Eddie sees a spooky burnt down house. So we love Eddie. Eddie was my favorite because I just relate to him on a deep personal level. He has 2 fanny packs. He's got him filled up with meds. He is ready to go.
He has his little beeper that goes off for his
Yes.
medicine.
Yes, he literally is just like, guys, I'm worried about the AIDS crisis. Like, my mom's friend got it from touching a subway pole.
He's definitely he's my favorite as well, because the stuff he says is so funny, and he's just
So
panicked
great.
about everything. And
Everything.
he's such a good actor. I
Yes.
just love the way this kid played this character.
I agree. I totally agree. So he sees a spooky burnt down house. He ends up chased by Pennywise, but manages to get away. Bev, who at this point I do feel like looked a little bit like Pennywise, but just with her short little red hair, super pale, So she's in the bathroom and hears cries for help coming from the sink, and then a Carrie-level explosion of blood proceeds to coat the bathroom walls. We learn at this point that adults can't see Pennywise's antics because her dad's oblivious to the blood. He comes in to check on her because she's freaking out. He doesn't see anything. The rest of the kids, however, can see the blood. They help her clean it up, and afterwards, Bev tells Bill she has only ever kissed one guy, quote, a long time ago, to which Travis yelled, a long time ago? You're like 12.
Maybe a kindergarten kiss,
No,
you know?
like a little baby. Like, it's not even a real kiss at that point. So obviously her promiscuity is only being touted by jealous classmates. Basically, all of the kids except Stranger Things star Finn Wolfhard's character Richie has seen the Pennywise character in some way, shape, or form. And basically Richie goes, what is it? Something only virgins can see?
I love when they're talking about what they saw, and Stan's like, yeah, she was this woman in a painting. Richie was like, was she hot? And he's like, no, Richie, she wasn't hot.
Dude, one of my favorite things was like just the most subtle, dry thing where they're like it comes as the thing you're most scared of, and they're like, Richie, what are you scared of? And he's just like, clowns.
Yeah.
It's like dying. Like, honestly, yeah.
Pennywise doesn't do anything. He's just himself.
Easy peasy. So we also know that the homeschool kid who I mentioned for a second, this kid, Mike, has also seen Pennywise in some way.
Yeah.
The kids realize that everything connects to the well house, which is where that dilapidated house now stands, and they go off to confront Pennywise. So much happens. I really can't even begin to cover everything. My notes were just so crazy. I was like, either I'm going to do a Andy Dwyer impression by recreating this movie for everybody, or I'm going to skip some parts. So I'm skipping some hauntings. Basically, when they go to this house, Billy, Eddie, and Richie pull the short straws. They have to go into the house. And Eddie ends up falling through the floor. He breaks his arm. Richie's confronted with a room full of clowns, and Billy saves the day by rescuing his friends from Pennywise. Eddie's mom, the matriarchal hypochondriac, she is the OG hypochondriac, tells Eddie that he cannot hang out with those friends anymore. She's really devastated about his broken arm. Everyone parts ways, not amicably, and time passes. So, bully number 1, Henry, so our worst person, wants to kill a cat. So, we hate him. We already didn't like him, but now, he's ready to become a serial killer. This is future Pennywise written all over it. So his dad stops him by shooting at his feet. So that's not healthy. It's not really how you should be stopping your kids from killing animals. I wouldn't then shoot at them.
And his dad is a cop.
Dad's a cop. Yeah. So Henry ends up finding this knife that he lost thanks to Pennywise. And the TV show in the house is telling him to kill his dad. So he does. And then the TV show tells him to kill them all. So then we get another shitty parent moment with Bev's dad. He locks her in the house with a padlock, and he attacks her, and you know that he's perving on her. It's really gross. They don't explicitly show it, but he's basically implying that she's his.
Yeah. It's implied that there's probably things that
abuse.
happen.
Yeah. So he attacks her. She ends up whacking him in the head with a toilet bowl lid, and he bleeds on the floor. And Pennywise then kidnaps her, and she's taken to the base of the well where bodies are floating around, literally, which was where you get to the "we all float here" line. So luckily her friends are on their way. It turns out that Eddie's mom is giving him placebo pills, to which he yells, "They're gazebos!"
They're gazebos.
I loved that. So good. So good. And so, he's basically like, F you, mom, runs off.
All right.
Mike, the homeschool kid, is with them. He ends up pushing Henry down the well because Henry's trying to kill them, and it's, it's tumultuous. Things are happening, whatever. They get rid of that obstacle. But then, again, stuff is happening. They're being attacked by their nightmares. Stan starts getting his face eaten by the Modigliani painting. Georgie shows up and he tries to convince Billy to bring him home or whatever. And Billy's like, I'm wise to you. I know what's up. And he shoots him in the head, which is hardcore. That was intense. And then you realize that that's Pennywise. And it was like, oh my God, what? Then Ben kisses Bev awake, Sleeping Beauty style. So Bill shoots Georgie in the head. I said that. And Bill gets captured by Pennywise, and Pennywise tells him that he'll spare the rest if they leave. And then they're like real ones, and they attack Pennywise, and it disintegrates and falls down a hole. And all the bodies start floating down to the ground. Then it's September, presumably more time has passed. They all promise to make sure it stays dead, so they'll come back in 27 years to make sure the thing is not going to come back to kill more people. They make a blood pact, which after hearing the mention of AIDS at the beginning, I was like, you guys, bloodborne illnesses, come on. They all slice their hands. He really does a number on Bev's hand. She's like pouring blood. They make a blood pact. Bill kisses her, and movie ends with chapter 1. As we mentioned last week, because apparently it's part 2. There's a part 2.
Yeah, it's a 2-parter. The miniseries is like over 3 hours long, 3-something hours long. It's the full story. I actually watched a bit of it. It's like if you want to laugh, you can watch it. I think we don't have to talk about that movie because that was fun stuff. But anyway, there's so much. There's so much to this movie. There's so much to the book. It's just it's huge. So. Yeah. I don't even know where to start. Where you want to start?
I don't know.
What are you curious about? Ask me questions.
I will. Let me just run through the rest of this really quick because it's going to be super easy. Main character pass. Villain pass. Survival chance 2. That was me being optimistic if I managed to escape the town.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah, not great. And no, I would not recommend to a non-horror I'll save my rating for later. Here's what I want to know. What the hell with the parents?
I don't know. I think, 1, it's in the 80s. So everyone sucks, No one knows how to parent in the 80s. 2, I feel like the group of kids are brought together under similar circumstances where they're kind of outcasted and not really seen at home. And I think that kind of brings them together as a group because they're the losers. That's what they call themselves. Yeah. The loser club. And I think that's just part of it where it's not every adult is a piece of shit. It's just some of them.
The ones in their lives.
Yeah, the librarian was nice, even though she was you should have friends and go outside to Ben. And
not very kind.
It's all right, but
friends.
That's what old people do. They're just why are you in here? You should be out hanging out. So, but yeah, that's the best I can think about with the parents that I know of. So.
Okay.
Shame. Yeah.
Dig in, girl. Give me some deets.
Okay, so there's a few differences with the books. So one thing is the look of Pennywise. So Pennywise in this movie is way more accurate to the book, whereas the miniseries Tim Curry one was not very accurate at all. The scene
that I watched when I was younger, that was from the miniseries? Or was there another movie?
Yeah. No, it's a miniseries. It's kind of a movie, but was technically a TV show, but...
Okay, I thought this whole time that there were 3 things. Okay.
No, yeah. So what you're thinking of is the miniseries with Tim Curry. So that version, the costume is not very accurate, whereas this one, it was a lot more accurate. Because when the design first came out, people were like, I don't know, but... Right. There was a deleted scene. So basically, Pennywise is an alien that landed on Earth.
That's what Travis told me. Yeah. So Travis told me, because he was like, what do you think happens in chapter 2? And I was like, I think he comes back. It's 27 years later, he comes back.
Yeah.
And he was just like, yeah, but do you know who Pennywise is? I was like, a clown? Like an alien. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's a shape-shifting alien.
Why?
So basically it's a thing where it's like a what those bugs, cicadas? where they just
Cicadas?
they come back after a certain amount of years and just fucking scream and fuck. So Pennywise comes back to this town specifically every 27 years, and he has been there since the early in the 16th century. And so there's no specific reason why he chose a clown other than like it's something that kids see at least back then and think it's a clown, it's safe, you know? So I think he just took that persona and just ran with it, and it just usually looks like a clown. There was a deleted scene, and this scene is not in the book, I believe. I think it's just something that they were going to include to add more of a background for Pennywise. So it takes place in the 17th century, and this is Bill Skarsgård talking about it. Basically, he said it was very disturbing. He said, "I'm not the clown. He looks a lot like himself." So I guess this is kind of like Pennywise not really looking like a clown, and he is threatening this young woman and her family and saying that if she doesn't give over her baby, he's going to kill everyone. And he's just describing like how he's going to kill everyone in the town, and is forcing this woman to give him the baby so that he could eat the baby. So it was like, he said it was a lot, and they ended up deleting it. So I don't think this scene ever was released, but I do remember in the trailer seeing a clip, and it kind of looked like it could have been this scene. I think they added it as like just fluff in the trailer. But yeah, so that's really dark. But this movie was already fucking long as shit, so I understand why they didn't include it.
It was long and dark. It was long and dark. I don't understand how the book could be darker. I really don't.
Okay, well, here we go. So another scene in the book talks about another kid named Eddie, and he's running away from home.
This is a different Eddie?
A different Eddie, yeah.
Why? You have the entire English language. You can pick as many names as you want. You don't need two of the same name in the book. That's just lazy, Steven.
I mean, he's from Maine. Maybe everyone just has the same name.
And everyone's name is Eddie?
I guess everyone's just the same, like, 5 names.
Jesus.
No creativity. So basically the kid runs away. Pennywise terrorizes him as a form of his dead brother, and then turns into like this sea creature thing and rips his head off of this child. So readers have said that this is one of the most disturbing scenes of the book because of just how drawn out it is. And I'm like, that's so fucked up. Like, oh my God. And they've said it's definitely scarier than Georgie's death. So happy they didn't include that. As for the losers themselves, some of them are a little different than the books. Like I said, Beverly is more girly. Beverly and Eddie are also are portrayed as weaker and not standing up for themselves, whereas in the movie they do kind of stand up for themselves by the end. And then Mike is a character that has more of the knowledge of Derry compared to Ben, so they kind of swapped that. I feel like they didn't give Mike a lot.
I was thinking the same thing. I was like, honestly, in a lot of ways he felt almost like they were just like a token black character. Like they just no, but I'm just saying, like, all in the movie, like, his big role was pushing Henry down the well.
Yeah. He has a bigger role. So especially in the second one, he's the only one that stays in Derry. And he ends up being, I think, a police officer or detective. And he's the one that notices that it comes back and calls everyone. So he's that character. He is linked to a really awful event. So there was the egg explosion thing, and then the next event was this white supremacist murder where they trapped a lot of people and basically burnt it down. So that's like a vision that Mike sees a few times in the movie.
Yes, and it doesn't help that his parents died in a house
fire. Yeah. It's really awful. So that is like, Mike has a lot more things going on.
Okay. That's good, because it just felt like it was very much like they really didn't give him a lot of this one around, so that's good.
Yeah, and there's more emphasis on Mike and Stan being more outcast because Mike is black and Stan is Jewish, so there's a little bit more with that as well.
Interesting.
In the town they're like more outcasted.
Okay, that makes sense. Here I'm using my 2025 eyes all the time.
So then we get to more disturbing, which makes me wonder about Steven, his mental state. So the one is the leper encounter with Eddie. So in the book, it's similar, except the creature is masturbating in his pants while chasing Eddie.
Stop! Why?
Not
Honestly,
necessary.
Has he gotten a psych evaluation done? Like, Why would you write that?
And so the worst part, which people have said, oh, it's not that bad. I'm like, y'all, for real. So the group, the kids, decide that they need to bond, and to fight back Pennywise, they need to bond in a way, and Beverly suggests an orgy. So
I'm sorry.
the children,
No. How could you ever have me watch anything that this man ever did? No. If I ever thought for even a glimmer, what? Stephen King? No. How is he famous?
I learned about this and was like, well,
There's no
I'm
way.
not reading this book. Why
There's
would
no
I
way.
read
If
this?
anyone says it's not that bad, are you?
It's like,
Well,
because I'm like on Reddit looking at stuff, and people are like, it was not needed, which it isn't.
no.
A blood oath is good enough. A blood oath is fine. That's how they stay bonded and linked to each other.
How old are they in the books?
I don't know. They have to be like 13, 14.
Hold on, I'm
maybe.
looking it up right now. 11.
Ew. God. Awful. So yeah, so that happens in the book.
11-year-olds? Are you? Oh.
Yeah, so that happens in the book. No idea, like,
No.
any details on it. Don't want to know.
No.
Never want to know.
What is
I
wrong
don't
with
like that I
man?
know that's in the book, but I guess it's good because if I was like, oh, let me read the book, and I
Right.
stumbled upon
You
that,
no. Cause you.
I would have been like, well, okay.
Right. No, thank you.
I'm calling the police.
Right.
So yeah, so
Just knowing that exists makes me feel foul.
it's just like not,
Necessary.
like not. It's not. Look at
No.
Steven.
No.
What he was on cocaine heavily writing this book.
Okay, that shows. Only
I
someone
forgot
on
about that
yeah,
detail.
only someone on cocaine could even
Yeah.
think that.
Yeah, so you know that kind of
Did he
makes
forget
sense.
how old they all were for a second? Was he like, I forget what type of book I'm writing? I think
Maybe.
they're all in their 20s.
So you know it's not
I want to
good,
talk
but
to this man. I want him to.
I would
tell
love to have a
me,
conversation with Stephen King.
Why would you do this? You
Love
explain
to talk to him.
yourself.
I would have so many questions for this man. So yeah, that's the thing. And let's see, I think those are all the details that I know from the book, at least compared to chapter 1.
Yeah, that's
So
pretty bad, dude.
It's pretty
bad.
bad. Yeah, it's pretty bad. The Duffer Brothers, who ended up doing Stranger Things, wanted to direct it, but they didn't have anything at this point. Like, this was before Stranger Things. So they were not established enough to do it, which is funny because they casted Finn
Yeah.
Wolfhard in Stranger Things, and then Finn ended up being on
Yep.
in it. So
Yeah, because
funny
it came
connection.
out after, right?
Yeah.
Because that was like, I just remember it being a big deal where you're like, oh my god, the little boy from Stranger Things.
Yeah, it's a big reason. So I saw this one and the second part in theaters. I usually never watch horror movies in theaters, but I wanted to watch it because it was it, and because of Finn. I was like, oh, I want to, see him in this movie. So and Brett actually came with me because of
Wow.
that. So just surprising.
Wow.
So Bill Skarsgård played it, or Pennywise, obviously, and the teeth made him drool a lot. The director was like, rad, let's keep that. The creepy thing he can do with his eyes is natural. He can naturally do that. Yeah.
What?
It's creepy. So he could just move his eyes.
Separately from one another?
Yeah. So that was a detail they added that wasn't CGI. It was just, that was all Bill.
Bill, dude.
Crazy. And he was very, very sweet on set. He was worried about scaring the kids too much, but all the kids were like, Bill's great. He's really easy to work with. And Bill was very surprised at how professional they all were.
Aww.
So they just had a good time on set, which is really nice to know.
Good.
He was very polite and didn't want to upset the children too much because he's a very sweet guy.
Aw.
This movie earned a lot of money, not surprising. It earned over 123 million over in the United States opening weekend. So
Wow.
that is a record for horror film, and was double than the previous holder of Paranormal Activity 3.
Wow.
And then it's also the second largest R-rated opening ever behind Deadpool, the first movie. So
Impressive. Oh,
Bill said when he auditioned, he had to wear clown makeup to the audition.
My
So he
God.
said there was something humiliating and absurd about the whole thing. I'm an actor in Hollywood. I'm driving with clown face makeup on. In Germany, they, this was like, there was a weird controversy in Russia concerning Ronald McDonald and
Okay.
Pennywise. I don't know, there was like a weird thing going on. So then Burger King in Germany took it upon themselves to tease McDonald's, and at the very end of the film, they included this message that said, "The moral is never trust a clown," and then included the Burger King logo.
No way. That
So
is
people
so
like to joke that it's the
funny.
longest Burger King ad ever.
That's really funny.
Some of the lines between Richie and Eddie were improvised, which is funny because they were
Oh.
just at each other. Like, they were so quick with each other. It's just
Wow.
really funny. This is the
I'm
highest
amazed with
grossing.
kids.
I know.
Damn.
Like, it was rare. You know me, I don't like kid actors, but
Yeah,
I
I
really
know.
thought they all did a great job
They
with this
did.
movie.
They did.
So kudos to them. It is the highest grossing Stephen King adaptation up to date. Stephen King liked the movie. He thought it did a good job. Anyways, only has 4 minutes of dialogue in the whole movie.
Wow.
And the actor for Georgie, who was the youngest in the movie, said he wasn't scared of Pennywise, as scared as he thought he would be, because he said that he had a lot of fun with Bill. So, very
That's
sweet. I can tell you chapter 2 how it ends.
Yeah, please. I'm never gonna watch it. I'm gonna tell you this right now. Not
It is-
interested.
It's like I liked the first one. You know, I think it's fine.
Yeah.
I have something. I wish it had less CGI. I think
Yeah.
it could have done a lot better with more practical effects. I think the best part of the movie is the acting. I think the kids and Bill did a great job as Pennywise, but other than that, I don't know. It's fine, I guess. I wish it was better. But chapter 2 was like not as good, and I already was not super liking the first one. It's just,
Yeah.
it was so long, and it was doing this thing where each person had their own scare or moment with Pennywise,
Oh my god.
but it lasted forever, and it was the same
Oh.
thing. You knew what was gonna happen because it was the same pattern, and I was like, I'm so over this. Like,
Yeah,
please,
that's
I'm so bored.
boring. Yeah.
So it's just long and nothing like happens.
Oh,
So
okay.
basically, Mike is the only one in Derry. A child goes missing at the start of the movie. He calls everyone up, and everyone weirdly has their memory, like, they don't remember much at all about Derry and what happened until Mike calls them and is like, "Hey, Pennywise is back," and suddenly they start
And they're like,
remembering
oh my
things.
god, the orgy. It's all coming back to me now.
Yeah, it's all coming back to me. And yeah, it was pretty much like they just kind of forgot. And the way it happens in the book is that you start with them as adults and they start remembering things as kids. Whereas in this movie, it starts with the kids, and then the second movie starts with them as adults. And so they all come back to Derry. They all lived separate lives and came back. Finn Wolfhard actually really wanted Bill Hader to play him as an adult.
That would have been so good.
And he did. Yeah. So
No way! I
So,
love that.
he said he got a call from his manager and was like, "Hey, this kid wants you to play the adult version of you in the second It."
way.
He was like, "How much power does this kid have?" So he
That's
was fantastic.
amazing.
Him and the actor who played Eddie were so great. Like, I was obsessed with both of them. And honestly, the casting was really good for all the
Yeah.
adults. And so basically, they're back. Same shit happens. Pennywise is fucking with them. Blah, blah, blah. They end up confronting him again in the well. And this time, Pennywise is like a skeleton, spider creature. Attacks them in spider
Okay.
form.
He's
They
like,
managed
"I'm
power-
chasing."
Yeah, that's like its true form, but it's like the only thing
Right.
they could understand. You know, it's like Cthulhu mythos
Yeah,
where
yeah,
you
yeah,
can't, you
yeah.
don't,
Your
can't
brain
comprehend what you're
can't.
seeing.
Mhm.
So they see it as like a spider. Blah blah blah. Oh, Stan commits suicide when he learns that Pennywise is back.
Aw,
So
Stan.
he is the only one that does not return.
That's really
and-
sad.
Yeah, they end up defeating Pennywise, but they do lose Eddie, and Eddie sacrifices himself for Richie, and you find out that Richie loved Eddie, and they never came out. And I was like, I am going to cry.
Oh,
I know.
I hate it.
I know. You see at the end, like, Richie goes to the bridge, and there was a little heart with, like, R and E. I know.
I hate
know.
that. That's so,
So-
sad.
So sad. But yeah, the movie basically ends with them destroying it. They crush his heart. Power friendship. I don't know.
Good.
I don't remember how. So fuck it.
Pulverize him.
He's
Yeah.
gone. And yeah, that's basically it. They all go back to their lives. Ben and Beverly end up getting together.
Okay.
And that is the movie. So
Whatever. I don't care about Ben and Beverly.
I know.
Justice for Eddie and freaking Richie.
I was devastated in
Oh
the
my
theaters. I was like,
God.
it was bad enough that Eddie was dying, but it was worse when you find out that
In love.
they could have been together. They could have been the best.
I don't care about Ben and Beverly. I'm sorry.
So,
Whatever.
yeah, unfortunately. But yeah, Stephen King has said that he will never write about Pennywise again. It's probably he's traumatized by writing
Yeah.
that and being on cocaine, and he's probably like,
Yeah.
I'm not doing
He
it again.
shouldn't. I agree. He shouldn't write more.
I agree.
that.
He's done like Easter eggy things because it is like this deity, this creature. So there's like little Easter eggs.
Yeah.
And there is a TV show coming out called Derry, so we will see more Pennywise if you would like to see Pennywise.
I would not. Thank you.
I've had enough of that clown
Solid.
bitch.
That was a bad one.
So that's I think that's everything I
Yeah.
have to say about this fucking movie.
What would you rate it?
I don't know. I think I'm gonna give it like a 2.9. I didn't hate it. I like wish it was better. Like I really wanted it to be better. And rewatching it again, I was like, "Ugh, it's just like kind of boring. The best parts are the kids fucking around with each other.
Yeah.
Like I love their banter, and like that was kind of
Yeah.
it. So and then
Yeah.
chapter 2 is like not good. So if it was better, like it all kind of worked together. But yeah, so I think I'm gonna give it like a 2.9. It's fine,
Yeah.
If you like Stephen King, you can check it out, but
Yeah.
it's not his best
No.
remake or what do you call it?
Yeah.
Adaptation.
Anything. Yeah, I would say for like scare wise, I didn't find it crazy scary, but I don't like the kid aspect of it. So I
Yeah.
rated it like a little higher on scariness for it being like a 3 out of 5 scary, mostly because I hate the concept of like what happened
Yeah.
with Georgie and stuff.
Right.
But, like my actual rating for it, my enjoyment level, I give it a 1,
Yeah.
which I feel like was really generous. I think the kids did a great job acting. I love their interactions, all that kind of stuff. But it was so chaotic. So much stuff is going on. And
Yeah.
I don't like kid murder. Believe it or not a fan.
It's it's rough. I don't like Georgie's death. I'm happy they omitted things, and even in the second one, it starts with the death. It's like 2 teenage adults, but it's like a gay couple, and it's kind of like a hate crime, and it's like really upsetting to watch. So it's just like
Ew.
it's dark, and I know Stephen King is dark. Like he writes dark shit, but I'm just
Yeah,
like,
but come on, man.
but it's a silly clown. I don't want that. Just give me silly clown stuff.
I know. Just be goofy. Just
Like,
be
I don't want-
magic.
Yeah, I don't want the horror of like reality. Just give
No.
me like silly, goofy
fun.
stuff. So yeah, it's fucked up. Pennywise sucks. He's just going after kids. Like it's
is.
fucked up.
Yeah, like
Fucking
what?
monster.
Why? Why?
I
Why
guess
can't
their
the adults?
fear-
Do you know why the adults can't see him? Because they're not afraid of clowns?
No, I think he's just like there's something kids give off. I don't know if it's like their fear and their innocence. Maybe that's why they had the orgy because they're not
Monsters,
innocent
Inc?
anymore.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, it's like Monsters Inc.
Yeah, just like Monsters Inc.
It's just like that,
Yep.
if you can believe it. So yeah, that is it.
That's
That is it for it.
Yeah. It's something. It's something.
It's something.
It's something. So I'm excited for our switcheroo.
Okay.
Because this was a little bit of a fave of mine. Once upon a time, I rewatched it in college, so it's been a while since I've seen it.
Okay.
Maybe not a fave of mine, but like I don't know, I liked it a lot. So I'm very curious to rewatch it because I
Okay.
feel like I'm just curious how I'm gonna enjoy it this next time around because I think I
Yeah.
haven't seen it in almost 10 years. So the movie's called The Switch. It's with Jennifer Aniston, Jason Bateman, and Patrick Wilson. So the movie, I'll let you look it up really quick.
Why does this sound familiar? Okay. I don't think I've seen it, but
Okay.
I've definitely seen the cover.
Yeah, so the movie is Jennifer Aniston's character wants to get pregnant. She wants a baby, and she doesn't have a man in her life, so she decides to get artificially inseminated. And she throws this kind of like big celebration party about the fact that she's doing this, basically.
Okay.
And she has the semen in her freezer. And Jason Bateman character is like her best friend, and he gets wasted and switches the donor's specimen with his own specimen. He blacks out, doesn't remember that he does this until he meets the kid 7 years later.
Oh my god.
Woo!
That's a crime.
I know. It's so bad. And I remember watching this in college, and my college roommate was psychoanalyzing all the characters, and I was like, "Get out of here! It's just a romance. Leave it alone.
You don't understand.
I'm just having fun."
My
Yeah.
god, I love Bateman.
Oh my god, I
I
know.
love him. So I'm definitely gonna be a little biased, but I will try not
Yeah.
to. I'll try to just watch this movie as is, and hopefully they spin it well.
Yeah.
I
love
mean, if it
him
was
too.
trashed,
Yeah.
you know, you do things when you're trashed.
Yeah, you make bad choices. And the little boy is such a cutie pie. So I love him. He's just a little baby. So
All right. Well,
yeah.
I'm excited. I feel like I would have watched this, but I don't think I did. But 2010, yeah, I was very much into like the rom-coms at that time, but I don't know.
Interesting. Maybe it wasn't in your wheelhouse. You were like,
Yeah,
that's a
maybe
crime.
not. Or maybe as I'm watching, I'll be like, oh, you know what? I did watch
I
this.
remember
but-
what happens.
Yeah.
I'm really excited to give it a rewatch. It'll be a nice, easy
Yeah.
watch after what I just went through.
Yeah. So sorry. Like I said, it's the last one. I probably will not give you Gerald's Game. That one's rough.
What's
Gerald's Game? It's a movie where this couple goes to reinvigorate their love life, and they
Oh,
go to a
no.
cabin and it's secluded, and they use handcuffs. She's chained to bed, and the husband ends up dying from like a heart attack or something,
No.
and she needs to figure out how to
No,
get out. And that's the whole
no.
movie.
No.
It's very good, but it's very dark. So
No.
I will not be giving that one
Thank
to you.
you,
But that
don't.
is the only other Stephen King movie I can think of, and I'm like,
Dude,
it's just-
He's messed up. Someone
It's-
put him in therapy, court mandated style.
it is. Yeah, that movie is wild. It is. It's probably other than like Misery, it's probably the best. Like, it's honestly very good, but it's really hard to watch. It is very difficult to watch. So
No, I'll watch it.
anyway,
Do it.
no more Steven. Goodbye,
No,
Steven.
Goodbye, Steven.
I'm sure you'll come up in conversation as we
Ugh, God, that
Talk about
man. Jeez.
He probably loves this type of reaction. It's just
I'm
being like,
sure.
what is wrong with you?
Yeah. Only someone
Evil.
that twisted could enjoy being seen as twisted.
All right, so thank you for
Mm.
listening to How Do You Watch This. You can find us on Instagram at How Do You Watch This and TikTok at How Do You Watch, or email us at howdoyouwatchthis@gmail.com. If you like the show, please support us by giving us a review or recommending to a friend. We'll see you next
Yeah,
time.
See you next time. Bye.
Where can we find this
I'm
movie?
so sorry. Thank you. I always forget. This movie can be found on Fubo or Paramount Plus.
Fuck yeah.
All right.